let's talk about DC Finest's latest, Batman Red Skies. So DC Finest is a series of trade paperbacks, I guess, to compete with Marvel's Epic Collection. I like the curation of DC Finest better. Marvel Epic Collection collects all the obvious stuff, like runs and things like that. If you want Defenders 1 to whatever, then you got it. But I like that DC is able to cherry pick from their vast library of, decades and decades and decades of stuff. And with this collection, they're doing the same thing they did with the Wonder Woman collection. I had done a video on that. The Wonder Woman collection was the last couple years before the end of pre-crisis DC. And so you got to see how they wrapped up storylines and everything and brought in characters from the past, etc. This is the same. This is awesome. This is the last 2 years before the end of the pre-crisis DC universe. You see they have a timeline here, and it says 1985 to 1986. This collects Batman 388 to 400, Batman Annual 10, Detective Comics 554 to 567, and Secret Origins 6. So Batman 400, I think, is the last Batman issue before Crisis happens. And basically, the gist of this, reason why this is called Red Skies, this is the name of one of the Batman issues. But you see here on the cover, Nocturna is on here. I love Nocturna. One of my favorite villains, only because my first Batman comic was, I think, Detective Comics 530. So let's get into this. And she was on the cover of that, and she was the villain. We'll get into all of that. So here, Detective Comics 554. This is the new Black Canary. So you see here the table of contents, and they're going through everything in order. So Detective Batman, etc. This is a nice little tome to have of the last couple of years of pre-crisis Batman. So here you have, I think it's Doug Mensch all the way through. No, I could be mistaken. Right, they just do covers and everything. So Doug Mensch wrote a lot of these. Yeah, Doug Mensch. This is Klaus Janson for Batman, and I think Detective was Gene Colan. So here's Batman and Robin. So the first couple of issues are just starting up storylines. And 2 issues into this, you see a little Heathcliff right here. These guys are wearing masks and stuff. Here's Captain Boomerang. There's Detective Comics. What is this? 555. You see Mirror Master and Captain Boomerang. So as we progress, the skies over Gotham City and presumably the world are going red. And people are panicking. They think it's the end of days. This is the beginning of the end of the pre-crisis world. So as crisis looms, the skies turn red, and astronomers don't know what is going on. They can't figure it out. They say it's a comet, but it's not a comet. Nocturna is back. Nocturna was a character that her skin went sensitive and very, very pale through a work accident through Wayne Foundation. Her and her half brother went on a crime spree. Actually, they didn't blame Batman or anything, but they were able to get away with these things, and people thought Batman was ineffective now. And so anyways, Batman apprehended them, but she came back, and her brother's back framing everybody, framing Catwoman with his crimes. And, there's an E.T. mask. So Nocturna wants custody over Robin. Batman is now dating Selina. Catwoman is part of Team Batman, like the Batman family. Robin is siding with Nocturna. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Here's Catwoman getting electrocuted or something. it's a whole giant storyline that took 2 years to the end of Batman, basically, for this era. There's Bullock here. There's Anton, Thief of Night, half-brother of Nocturna. They're fighting. And here Catwoman comes in for revenge, crashes her helicopter, and jumps in to fight the Thief of Night. Everyone plunges into this ocean here. We're just getting started, man. I love all the Jansen and Colin art here. Doug Mensch, this is a now celebrated era of Batman. I don't know if it was much celebrated at the time or even for a lot of the last few decades. I like it. It combines the gothic look of Batman, like look and feel, but also with a lot of the comic book stuff, like, you know, fighting stone characters and everything. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, I love this art. Yeah, Cullen's art is very moody and shadowy. A lot of people don't like it for Batman. I loved it for Tomb of Dracula, of course. I do like it for Batman. Sometimes some of the faces are a bit more abstract than people would like. Yeah, so here's Robin finding his way. This is Batman 395. Oh, from Selina. I think that's Vicky Vale. I could be mistaken. Of course, Vicky Vale got her big starring turn in the Batman movie, but she's no Lois Lane. Here's a guy in an ape costume, lest you believe it's a real ape running around with a gun. There's some run-ins with Ra's al Ghul here as well. And a lot of your favorite Batman villains. Pretty cool stuff. But if you ever wanted to know what was going on just before Crisis, before all of this continuity got wiped out, this is it. I love that they're doing this. They did this with Wonder Woman, and they did this with Batman. I think Superman, the last days of his adventures in pre-Crisis, get a lot more shine than the other characters. So I like that they're doing this in the DC Finest tomes here. Pretty neat. Lots of gray-blue Batman. I love it. That's the real Batman to me, and always will be. Black Mask. So here they're going through... Oh, I love this. They're going through the Bat computer. It's like, let's look at our villains here. The Joker, the Penguin, Killer Moth. That's neat. Black Mask, Two-Face, Deadshot, Mad Hatter. Some characters have fallen off. Nocturna, Night Slayer. So they called this guy Night Slayer. He was called Thief of Night. They gave him a better name. Poison Ivy, Riddler. Other guys. And these are other guys. Pretty cool. Batman Anniversary 400. So I think this is billed as the last Batman issue before Crisis happens. And it's different stories, different styles, celebrating Batman. Pretty neat. There's Ra's al Ghul, Joker. Yeah, it's cool, man. I like when he's got like the Lazarus Pit, like steam coming off of him and stuff. Detective Comics presents the Batman 567. This is Gene Colan, it looks like. And here's some pinup stuff at the end here. And here's some cross-sell with the other DC Finest. Year 1 and 2 Batman, Origins and Omens, very first Superman issues. Plastic Man, I highly recommend. Jack Cole, Plastic Man. Suicide Squad, Trial by Fire, and Harley Quinn, which is a favorite of newer comic fans out there, and some older ones, I guess. This is awesome. I highly recommend this. It's great to have everything collected in order leading up to Crisis. So everything that was happening, and then of course they rebooted the all of the continuity. Nocturna is always a plus for me. So this is great stuff. Doug Mensch is an era of Batman that I feel deserves a bit more love. So if you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.